We've been voting for presidents since George Washington. Most of us make that choice by casting a ballot and telling the results to see who won. But there is another way. Barry Peterson checked out how some people vote on a president's popularity, not with their ballots, but with their bucks.
The saying goes, what's in a name? Well, if your name is George Washington or Thomas Jefferson, we can tell you what's in a name: tens of thousands of dollars.
So this is a letter of Thomas Jefferson from 1781.
Our guide is Nathan Rabb of the Rabb Collection in Philadelphia. Rank for me the American presidents, the most expensive and then down.
Yeah, so I would say the most expensive, the most actively looked for, the most desirable would be George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt.
These men you can see on Mount Rushmore, but you can't hold Mount Rushmore in your hands. What is the attraction, Nathan, of holding something that's got a president's signature on it?
Well, you're touching a piece of history, and it's the only way that we have to directly connect with someone who we may admire. It's something that we know that they touched because they signed it.
And in the presidential collecting world, fame really does mean fortune. Grover Cleveland and George Washington were both American presidents, but
Grover Cleveland, you'd be dealing with something that was several hundred to low thousands. And George Washington, you probably weren't entering the room, so to speak, for under 20, 30,000 and could go up to several million.
Several million?
Yeah, several million.
Abraham Lincoln wasn't a founding father, but he may have been the founding father of collecting presidential autographs. After he was elected, but before he took office, people wrote asking for autographs, and he sent back these signed notes.
He would take the time to write these people, and a lot of them were kids.
And with so much money at stake, forgeries abound. This looks like a Lincoln letter, but see how the sentences taper down. Now, the real thing, with sentences straight across. And when it comes to a Lincoln signature, watch out for the talented Joseph Cozy, who did many of his forgeries in the 20th century.
He may have been paid, it may have been a barter situation where, buy me a beer.
2 whiskeys and you get a Lincoln.
Yes, 3 you get a Washington.
Perhaps the most famous document in American history is the Declaration of Independence. And there seem to be a lot of them.
I would say 5, 6 times per week somebody approaches us with the Declaration of Independence.
The Declaration of Independence?
Yes, which would be incredibly valuable if it were authentic. They have reproductions that have aged with time.
What's it like to tell somebody who thinks he has a copy of the Declaration of Independence, which would be worth millions, and say, I'm sorry, but you're not going to be a millionaire?
Well, it's like walking into a buzzsaw. They don't want to hear it.
And modern moments can change the value of the long ago dead, like an obscure Alexander Hamilton. Then came the book and the musical. When they sang his praises, up went his prices.
Yeah, when I joined the business, you could buy Alexander Hamilton's letters for $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. And today, they routinely sell for more than $15,000, $20,000.
Rarity also adds to the price. President William Henry Harrison died 1 month into his term. His signature before taking office might fetch a few $100s. But after taking the oath of office, he didn't have much time to sign anything.
Yeah, he had a month's worth of time to sign documents. A lot of those would have been lost, destroyed, and a handful of them, a very small handful, reached the market.
So how valuable is this signature that I'm holding?
It'd be around $50,000.
$50,000?
Mm-hmm.
Even back in 1861, Lincoln and his top officials knew the value of autographs for raising money during the Civil War. What do you think its purpose was?
It was almost certainly designed to be sold to raise money for the sick and wounded soldiers.
It is one of Rabb's most expensive pieces, a cool $300,000. But to many, it's not always about the money. Sometimes the least expensive item can touch the heart as deeply as the most.
The feeling of awe is why people buy these documents. Otherwise, they're just pieces of paper with ink on them.
They died long ago, but that awe really can bring them back to life. For CBS Saturday Morning, Barry Peterson, Philadelphia.
Point of relevance with William the 9th president of the United States. I'll put it that way. Harrison, thank you. Was that he passed away after the inauguration? It was so cold. It was, yeah.
That's why the inauguration's inside.
Inside.